No, you need it. Is that what they're eating? Carly, you are a ray of sunshine on the internet. Your creativity and love of sewing are so infectious, it really feels like we get this little window into your world when you share your projects and talk us through your ideas. It's like chatting with an online sewing friend. You put so much love into everything you make, whether it's a giant patchwork, a voluminous statement dress, or even a little soup bowl cozy. Everything feels so full of care and genuine delight. I'm so grateful we get to sit down today and chat about where your sewing journey began, how your playful style has evolved, making your wedding dress, navigating challenges, and what's next for you in this creative journey.
That's so lovely.
How did you first get into sewing, and what was your first project?
My first project was in grade 7 actually.
Really?
And my mum tried to get me into it with one of those paper patterns from Spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't. I was like, I hate this so much.
Do you remember what it was?
It was a tiered gathered skirt with purple butterflies on it. I took a big break from sewing after that.
A long hiatus. You're like,
I needed space.
This is not my thing.
But I got into it again in the summer of 2021. I was really inspired by Rachel Burt. Her sense of play was so exciting to me, and that she was using fabric as her medium. It felt like it gave me permission to maybe make something that was odd. So that's when I started patchworking, because also I didn't have much money, so I was just sort of like going out and just getting whatever I could from op shops, and then just being like, wow, I made it into 5 meters of fabric. Yes. She's got such a distinct style, which is inspiring to see, I think.
Mm-hmm. And then what was your next project after that first one that you took that break from? And then what made you fall in love with it the second time?
But I think like the first time where I was like, wait a second, this is actually fun, is I made like this weird thing, and it was like a dress, and it was like a pleated rainbow polyester chiffon from Spotlight.
Oh, wow.
And it had, you know, like that really coarse tulle netting. Which is just the cheapest netting you could get.
Yeah.
And so I just did a bunch of ruffles with that and then put them all over the skirt, and so it just sort of like stuck out. And I was like, this feels fun to jump around in. And I think that like unlocked something for me. It was just silly.
That's amazing.
That's fun.
And have like this style, like your playful style of like ruffles and like big voluminous silhouettes, like where did that evolve? Has that always been something part of your life, like kind of very playful?
I don't think so. It is probably what you see a little bit more in like higher fashion or whatever, like Cecile Barneson or like Molly Goddard.
Yeah.
Where they're playing with these really big silhouettes. And every time I would see pieces like that on my Pinterest and stuff, it would just be so, so exciting to me, but also so far out of reach in terms of like, I could never afford to buy that at that stage of my life and at this stage of my life. So I think it was sort of being inspired by those, and also just wanting to know what it feels like to wear that much fabric on my body or wear something that's completely covered in ruffles. Like, it just looks so fun.
So growing up, like as a child, were you drawn to this kind of stuff too, or is it kind of like evolved?
Definitely
more?
Evolved.
Yeah.
I was like hardcore tomboy style growing up.
Really?
Yeah. We went around Australia when I was a kid, and I remember basically had like a kids games t-shirt, which is like a holiday program t-shirt, and a pair of bike pants.
Yeah, right.
And it was that for like 7 months. So that was like my bread and butter, just little outfits I could run around and play in.
Yes, definitely evolved from seeing those inspirations that you mentioned, like Cecilia Barneson and Molly Goddard and all those things. Like I can see, like, yeah, they do have that similar vibe and that really playfulness.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
has had an influence as well. Yeah.
I also love like the way that kids dress so much. And I remember the feeling of, you know, playing dress ups and stuff and just having that pure like excitement about just putting the most ridiculous things on your body and being like, look at me. Yeah. And the fact that your parents would give you permission to just go out in the world and just wear like a tutu or whatever. And that feeling holds up so much. And especially the feeling of wearing something crazy and then going and playing in it. I just think it's the best. And I always think about that when I'm making stuff.
Oh, that's so beautiful though. I feel like that's such a, when I was thinking about you as well, I was thinking, or maybe even watching one of your videos, the thought that kept coming back to me was like, I love that you feel like you give this permission to play.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that was
lovely.
like this thing that kept coming. It was like this permission to play and like put a ruffle here, or put like just put something, just like play and stuff. I felt like that was such a big theme that I kept thinking about you and stuff. So
Oh, it's so nice.
yeah, it definitely comes through. Like
I'm really
in the song.
glad.
Yeah, for sure. You just finished your biggest project yet, your wedding dress, and you shared the whole process. Looking back, is there anything you'd tell yourself at the start, or any lessons you learned along the way?
Oh my goodness. Did you make your wedding dress?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have some lessons learnt from me as well.
Okay, share yours.
From that process.
I want to hear yours as well. Lessons were learned. I think I'm really glad that I did it, but probably in hindsight, I probably bit off more than I could chew. And would I do it again? Likely. Like, it is that feeling of just really just thinking, oh, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. Being a little bit over aspirational with what my actual technical skill level was. It definitely meant that my whole world pre-wedding was trying to figure out how to do that, and less so about figuring out what our guests were going to eat or whatever.
It can become very all-consuming for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I don't regret it. I know that's a thing, like when I was making it, I was like, this is too much. Like, I know I should do something that I feel more confident in achieving, but it's also like, I just know that given the same circumstance, I would probably 100 times in a row pick to do something that was out of my depth, because that feels exciting.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was what it was, but I'm happy that it turned out.
No, it actually looks so beautiful. And I didn't realize, but you did like so much hand embroidery on it too.
So much. It was really subtle, I think.
Yeah.
On
But still,
the day.
that's a lot of work. You're like, look at all this work. Like, shine all the sequins in the light so you can see all the work.
I know. I was so glad it was meant to rain. It was like 10 days of sunshine, and then our wedding was meant to be rain. But the sun came out like just as the ceremony was starting. And I was
perfect.
like, oh, thank you so much, because now we have like the sun. And
Yeah,
you
you can see the details of all my hard work. That's so good. Yeah, I think I was a little bit similar. Just, okay, this is my one chance. I've got this wedding dress, and I'm just gonna put all of my ideas and thoughts and like dreams into this one dress. And I think looking back, it's funny because I spent 6 months making a different dress.
Really?
And then at the end, I pivoted and decided to make a like backup dress of a dress that I'd like felt really comfortable with. And it was just like a linen panel dress, kind of fitted. And I knew that silhouette looked flattering and looked really good. And I just lengthened it, and I did it in 2 weekends, and I ended up wearing that dress. And I was like, there's so much time I spent agonizing over this other dress. Couldn't find the right fabric, couldn't find the right way that it would like poof up, and the pictures that I like had and stuff. And I just think I realized I could have just simplified it for myself, or just, it's hard because you're like, I could do this sleeve, or I could do like this neckline. It's like really hard when you sew. You just feel like there's too many possible options, and it's
endless.
Yeah, it's really hard condensing all of those into one dress. So I think I put a lot of pressure on it, and then ended up wearing the really simple one, and was like, that felt like me anyway. So
I love that you had the instinct to just trust yourself and just go with that.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, your wedding dress.
Yeah, after that I was like, this is just my backup dress. But then I was like, this is what I'm doing, that's all. This is my main dress. I'm not bothering about the other one. It's in the corner over there, sad in a ball.
That's so smart.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
like
gosh.
all the time spent as well.
I was like, babe, are we like gonna hang out and organise anything else?
Yeah, you're like,
That will happen after the wedding. I'm glad that I wasn't alone in that. I almost wish that I'd had the courage to just simplify and just let it go. Because I also, my mum bought me a witchery dress or something a few days before the wedding, because it was meant to be raining, and she was like, just have something else in case you need it.
Yeah.
It was a little linen dress. I ended up throwing that on at the reception, and I was like, this is so much better. Like, not better, but it just felt so comfortable and easy, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, but I guess it's that experience. You have to go through it. It's kind of like a rite of passage. I think a lot of sewists like just can relate to the wedding dress, like making their own wedding dress, and the story and the pressure. And, like, it all becomes,
And the
takes
expectation
over.
there too.
The
Like,
expectation.
people like, oh, you can sew, like, no, it's
Yeah, like,
just-
oh, you're gonna make your wedding dress, like, what's it gonna be like? You know, like, it's just, it's a lot. I find sometimes having that expectation on just the one dress, you're like, but there's so many like different areas of design I want to show, and I can't all get it into one. So it's kind of like just deciding on it. But anyway, it turned out so beautifully.
Thank you.
And I feel like people were very invested in your journey, and I feel like you made a really really exciting kind of like, everyone's just like, what's the update?
That's so nice.
Yeah.
It was like every video just clocked on and I was like, guys, once again, I did not know what I'm doing.
But I love that like realness and the honesty and just like the process, because the creative process is very up and down.
Oh, it
like,
really is.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm glad I shared it because it was like 100 comments that were so enlightening. Like someone was like, you have to use YKK zipper. And I was like, oh, why what? It changed my life.
Yeah. I think that leads into the next question is, what do you usually do when you hit a sewing roadblock? Like when something goes wrong or it's not turning out how you planned? Like it can be for your wedding dress or just like in general, like the projects that you're working on. If it's just like, oh, it's not working out, like what's your process?
It's hard and my process is not perfected there. I think I usually will then consult Elijah, my husband, and get another opinion and take a step back and just like let someone else think about it for a second.
Yeah.
And I always find that to be really helpful because sometimes I'll think something is going really badly and then with fresh eyes, Elijah will be like, it's kind of interesting, like try this or that. I think a lot of people would relate to this, which is that sometimes I just need to like take a big step back.
Yeah.
And just like, sometimes I just need to let it go, honestly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just not flowing, it's not working. But in trying not to get disheartened with that is where I feel like the real work is, and just getting on with it.
It can really like push you to your limits sometimes when things, it's like, it's crazy that it can be so emotional.
I know, it's like the stakes are so high for some reason.
I remember the Aura pin for what is now, but when it wasn't that before, it was just a dress I was making for myself. Chris will remember this. I think I bought a fabric that it was a directional fabric, and then it made like one of the side, it was hanging funny or something, like I've just like sewed it the wrong way, and it ended up in the ball down the stairs. I was like, it's not working, and just like threw it down the stairs. And you're like, oh my God, it's like so intense. It's just like, it's just sewing, calm down.
It's always though.
It is. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I think it's hard to hold space for the problems that you don't know how to solve yet.
Yes.
You're like, I know this is bad and I have no idea what to do about it.
Yes.
And that can be really frustrating.
Fresh eyes and taking a step away from it. That's good advice, actually. Sometimes there's a pressure to make things the right way as you become a better sewist. How do you balance improving your technical skills but still keeping things playful and creatively free? I think I've heard you talk about that on some of your videos.
Yeah, that is a really current thing that I'm working through at the moment, I feel. Because I think after the wedding dress, I got so engaged and interested in technical development. And I'd gotten all these textbooks and I started watching a lot more sewists that were at a higher level than me. And then I just sort of became aware of so much more. When I slowed down with my sewing, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting better. And now I find it really challenging to just try and make something simple and not want it to be the best it could ever be in the whole world. I do find that to be really hard, actually. But ultimately, I think like sewing is about joy and exploration. So if it's nice to be able to give myself permission and be like, you know what, if what's interesting right now is taking a really long time to do a process and hand stitch details and whatnot, then that can be what it can be, you know, that's fine.
Yeah.
And like enjoying that.
Sometimes I think I've also fell into that trap of like, as my skills have grown, now I'm kind of like really precious and perfectionist about things, but I'm like, sometimes I just want to like cut into something and drape it and let it hang and just see what happens. But I'm very like, oh, it has to work out right. But still giving myself that permission to play. Like that's something I feel like I need to do more of in my life.
It must be hard, the better you get.
But I feel like that's where like sometimes that creativity flows. It's just not feeling the pressure to have to get it right the first time as well. And just experiment. Yeah, which is still a big part of the process.
It is, isn't it? It's hard to remember that because you really do just want that perfect finished garment, but it's all important.
One of your recent makes, you made a pair of pants 3 times.
I got so addicted.
Yeah.
I got so addicted.
But that's the good thing is like you can kind of tweak them each time.
Totally.
Yeah, the more that you kind of like do something is like the first pair could be like the next time I'll do this and learn something from that second pair, so then you apply it to the third and allowing the first, to be what it is and then just improving and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially if it's the same design or something.
Yeah.
Same pattern.
I think it's like that reframe is so helpful, which is usually for me, like the first time I make it, I'm like, I just want it to be this thing that I love and I wear and I enjoy so much.
Yeah.
But in reality, by the second or the third or the fourth time you've made it, like I've made so many of Anna Allen Clothing's like Helene jeans.
Yeah.
It no longer is about necessarily making the functional garment. It's about like the process and the practice. It's like sitting down to practice piano or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I sometimes forget, like sewing is just like it's a practice. And yes, you're making clothing and you don't want to be like wasteful with your materials, but sometimes you're just practicing and that's
totally
kind of fun.
Yeah, it's true. That's a really good way to look at it, actually. You do have to practice like you would piano or any other skill. You have to put out those, those funky songs before you get to those masterpieces.
You really do.
How does the balance shift when sewing also becomes your job? This is something I can find tricky to balance. Do you ever feel pressure when sewing, now that sewing's become your job, like if there's a pressure to post or be consistent, or how do you navigate those feelings of the pressure of it maybe, or maybe you don't feel pressure? What's your take?
I think I definitely do feel pressure, especially now that it is my work. And that's probably where that extra pressure comes when the project goes badly. It's like, okay, that was a week of work. I need to work like double next week to make sure that it gets really weird. It's so fun and such a privilege to be able to make stuff and live a creative life. So I just think that overwhelmingly trumps that feeling of pressure on most days. But yeah, I think it is a bit of a weird rat race trying to figure out how to make stuff that you're excited about and then share it in a genuine way, because sharing it is a part of what we're doing. And just trying to, find a way that feels authentic. Like, can be challenging, but it is also fun.
Yeah, true. And I guess that's a good perspective, like just being like the benefits outweigh those feelings. So just like reframing that and just finding a way that's like does feel genuine. Yeah. And you can like feel excited about the projects.
And just keep fine tuning what that looks like.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, maybe I'm not tired of, sewing as a whole thing. Maybe I'm just tired of this one approach that I've been doing. Maybe I can just pivot into a slightly different thing, and that can freshen it up.
Yeah, that's true. That's such a good perspective, actually. With so many ideas and sources of inspiration, how do you choose what to make next?
It's so hard. You must feel the same.
Yeah, I do. So that's why I'm asking you, so I can get advice.
Usually, like when I'm sewing, I'm always just thinking about the next thing that I want to sew, which is so sad because I'm always like, I'm so excited to make this thing. And then by the time that I actually start making it, it's like, I'm so excited to make the next thing. But it's good, like having that little momentum is good. Obviously, sometimes I have no idea what's next, but, just figure it out.
Just roll with it. Do you have like a big list of like, okay, I'm going to do this first and this and this and this, or do you just kind of follow the inspiration of what you're feeling in like that week or?
No, I definitely have dream projects. So I have like, I'll have a notebook and every time I think of an idea, it goes in there. Yeah. And so it might not be like something that I'm interested in doing right now, but then there will be a time where it's like, oh, I'm finally ready to do my such and such making video or whatnot, or that project that I've been thinking about for like 3 years. So there's always stuff like brewing, I think, which is nice.
It's always like looking back in the notebook and be like, oh, okay, which one is like, do I have the excitement for, or like the energy for, or like the right fabric or thing that's kind of coming together for it.
And I think that's what's really exciting about patchwork for me, is that if ever I'm not interested in a particular design or style, maybe it will be like I'm interested in working with a particular fabric or making a fabrication or playing with the colours. It adds like a whole new level of like stimulation almost. Which I enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. The patchwork, it kind of just like in itself is like a creative putting it all together and all the fabrics together, and then there's the cutting out and making the garment from it. It's another process in itself.
Definitely.
I do also have a big sketchbook of like ideas and things like that, and some are like
heaps of sketchbooks.
Yeah, I do have like sometimes papers all over the house, but I have this one that's just like, if it's good enough, it goes in that book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, or like I'll like cut it out of this random notebook I'm using and I'll stick it in that book and be like, yeah, it's made it to that book. The ideas that are like, yeah, I really want to make those ones one day.
That's so cool. How many pieces are sitting in that book?
Oh, I would say it's half full. There's like a lot of pages in there. Often, even on one page, there can be like 10 different sketches of a dress or like something. It's funny, I actually started before Soften Studio became Patterns. I started the YouTube because I wanted accountability to make those things that were in my sketchbook instead of just dream about them. And that's actually how it started and evolved into what it's doing now. But it's something that I'm actually wanting to feel like I want to get back to, is like that feeling of like, okay, there's still lots of ideas waiting in my sketchbook to come to life. And wanting to go back to sometimes that process of just being like, picking them and actually not letting them just sit there forever, like letting them come to life.
I would be very excited to see more
yeah
melody ideas come to life.
I know. I'm a very slow. I brew, and I take a long time to like get things done. I've had to pace myself becoming a mum as well. Also having a child and just anything I'm going through in my life, it's very much like that's where my inspiration comes from for what I want to like put out and make, and being a mum and now like having a daughter, it's just like, oh, there's new ideas and things I want to do, and just have to be like, yes, I want to do that, but also like the season I'm in, got to give myself grace, like that will happen. Just kind of make space for that when have more capacity to do so.
No, I think that sincerity and the thoughtfulness that obviously goes into your process is extremely evident in everything that you touch.
It's very personal.
It's lovely.
Sometimes too personal.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh,
and
thank
very
you.
like refreshing.
Oh, thank you. That's so lovely. My next question is, outside of sewing, what else fills your cup?
Oh, that's a fun question. I really enjoy rock climbing with Elijah. That's really fun. And going for walks and roller skating. And
fun.
Speed puzzling is my new addiction.
What's that?
It's just doing puzzles as fast
Really
as you
fast.
can.
Oh my gosh, that does sound fun actually. Is it like a competition or
It
just
can be.
Okay.
So I'm like training.
Is it like part of a club or something you can be in? Or?
No, well, I think there's like a competition that comes around,
Okay.
and then you can sign up and then you can do it.
That is so cool.
It's really niche.
That's fun though.
It's fun and goofy. So I have a lot of little hobbies. I love
Yeah.
singing and dancing,
Yeah.
taking classes and seeing my family,
Yeah.
going into nature.
Sewing can be like very mental, very creative, and that's where even like a couple of years ago we picked up running together, and that felt like a new thing for me because I was like, oh, this is something that's taking me in my body and I can let go of that stuff. And maybe you find that with rock climbing too. Like it's just a different kind of expression and love. Yeah, because we're all, faceted people. If a friend wanted to get into sewing, what advice would you give them?
Firstly, exciting.
They're just like, where do you start?
Yeah. Whenever anyone's like, I'm interested in getting into sewing, I always think, okay, speak carefully because I don't want to dissuade you or overwhelm you. But I also think sewing is so exciting and empowering. What I would say is start at a place which is inspiring. Because I think some people, like myself, when I did my grade 7 project, I was just starting with basically something that I was told to start with. And I think that can be very discouraging. If there's something that you really, really want to make, find the easiest version of that and start there, because people are really clever and capable, and sewing is not that hard. It might seem like it is, and there definitely is a level where you can make it really hard, but
it's achievable.
It's achievable. So I feel like you can do it. Start where you're excited.
I think that's such good advice. Yeah, because like you said, if you're just kind of like, oh, I'll just start with something basic, but I'm not inspired by it, you kind of might not feel that energy to keep going. But if you're like super inspired, even if it's like you said, a little bit out of reach of what you want to do, but make a simple version of it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's such great advice. I don't know if I've heard that before, but that makes a lot of sense.
I think it's just how I feel. But it's also like people like yourself and other indie pattern makers are making patterns where the instructions are so comprehensive. Like some old school patterns, they really expect that you understand what
Yeah.
you're doing. But your patterns and other people's patterns are like, let me hold your hand, let me walk
Yeah.
you through every step. And you want us to succeed. And for that reason, I feel like a lot of people can start sewing with those patterns because
Each step is shown and illustrated rather than assuming that people have prior knowledge.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's accessible.
Yeah, that's so good. And then my last question was, what's next for you in your creative journey?
Wow. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
to be honest. I'm really enjoying making videos and I'm really enjoying making them with Elijah, like you guys together. So I think just making more videos and exploring where that takes us would be awesome. And I definitely do have a few dream projects in the back of my mind, so hopefully they can come to fruition at some stage. And I'd like to make some bigger fabrications, I think. But
Oh, that's exciting.
I'm very much so like my calendar usually has about 3 things on it, and I like it like that. So I like to just see what happens.
Yeah,
as things unravel.
Keep it open.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
follow the little breadcrumbs and just,
100%.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so honoured that you
Yeah.
would come to my space and
Yeah.
hang out with me for a little bit.
Yeah, thanks
been
for
so
inviting
nice.
us. Love it.
Oh.
So good. Yeah. So together, it's just chaotic. They made like some yummy things.
I was not present enough to notice what the foods were that they made. Lots of soups and stuff.
Yum. Chris's mum is like the queen of spring rolls.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The balancing, the lighting, and having this light and stuff like that even makes has made a big difference.